I'm behind on videos for several reasons, and the main reason is I've been gone for 3 days, finally got married, boom. And that's what we're talking about, right there. Corporal of Wall Street. My new wife has a way of suggesting things that makes you think about stuff. So, listening to her, she gave an analogy of football teams, okay? About how some people, their lives could be horrible. They could live in a trailer somewhere. They could be broke. They could be on their last cigarette. They could be out there just hating life. But they watch their football teams or baseball teams, and they watch those things, and they get an enjoyment out of it. They crave it. They feel better after their team wins. They get this urge that their life could be better. Even though in reality we both know they're still going back to work at the plant, their lives aren't going to change. But people feel better, and it makes them feel good to know that their team's winning. Therefore, they feel like they're winning, you know. So I got thinking about that, and I was like, and she told me this in a way of YouTube subscribers, okay? And it dawned on me, I was like, you know, I personally don't understand that. I feel like I'm responsible for my actions. I feel that I'm in charge of my own destiny. I create my own fate. I create my future. I can choose to stand in front of that semi when it's coming and die, or I can move out of the way. I'm not going to say, well, the world made me stand in front of it, because the world didn't. I'm choosing to. Does that make sense? So where I come from in my generation, I feel like I'm going to take charge and control of what I do. No one's going to dictate what I do. And at that point when I feel like somebody is dictating it or keeping me down, it's time to move on to something else. And that's just who I am and where I come from. But when she told me that, there's a different perspective. Like, some people don't think like that. Some people think that if a player is on a certain team that they like, and they get traded because their contract's up, or they move to a different team for more money, or different benefits, or more playing time, or whatever they more commercials, or whatever they promise them, that people feel personally let down. They feel like they're tossed out in the woods and left to die, you know. So, again, I don't feel that way necessarily, but I understand now what she was saying. I understand how it could affect other people. I understand that. I see it. So, I want to talk about 3 things in this video. The first one, we're talking about it right now. Letting people down. So, I'm just going to kick this off and I'm going to say it. If I've personally offended you, or personally wronged you, or ruined your life, or ruined your time on YouTube, or you feel abandoned that I pushed certain gear from certain companies, and I no longer work there, therefore you feel ashamed, or you feel like you did that for me, or you feel like I've let you down in any way, shape, or form for no longer teaching at the Pathfinder School, then I apologize. And I sincerely apologize, and I mean that. The last thing I want to do is let somebody down or break somebody's heart or ruin their life over a decision I made that I feel in the future will benefit me and my family. Now, I've just said I understand that perspective. Now, I don't expect you to understand my perspective, but I'm going to say it, okay? You work your job and you do what's best for you. My mindset is, if I leave a company, for good or for bad, whether I'm fired or I put in a 2-week notice and I go on to something different, better or equal, or do my own thing, I don't see the point of, I'm going to email every single person I've ever worked with, email every single customer, send out lists of letters to everybody to make sure everybody knows what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and they're not offended. I just go do it. And I'm willing to bet 99.99999% of people do the same. You move on somewhere else. You just go. Okay. Some people do not, though. And I wasn't aware of that. So for those, I'm talking to those individuals. If anyone feels personally offended that I left the Pathfinder School or Self-Reliance Outfitters, again, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say I'm sorry I didn't email you because I don't know your email address and it would take forever to email hundreds of thousands of people, so I'm not saying that. You get what I'm saying. If you're watching this video, I apologize. The last thing I was trying to do is push gear for a different company or have you buy classes and then me bail out. Okay, that's not what my intent was. If you did that and if you feel like I did do that, then I'm sorry. So that was the first thing. If you feel like I burned you or I've let you down because I'm doing my own thing, there's nothing else I can do except say I apologize for that. I'm making the best decision for me, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. I am trying to do my own thing. I'm trying to create my own legacy. I'm trying to do my own business or businesses. Win, lose, or draw, I'm taking that step. For those that want to continue to support me, I appreciate it. Those that don't accept my apology and think I'm a rat bastard, I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can do. I'm taking that step, and that's what I chose to do. Do I wish ill will on anyone who stays? I do not. Have I posted anything publicly trashing their gear or their business? I have not. And I won't, because that's bad business for them and for me. And we'll talk about gear here in a minute. That's another thing we're going to talk about. So, again, I'll just end with this. I did what I thought was best for me, my family, my new family, and where I want to be in 5 to 10 years. And that is initially taking that step, putting myself out there, and seeing what I am capable of. And then once I know what I'm capable of, or understanding that I'm damn near capable of anything, the sky is the limit. And the sky can be the limit, or the limit can be the sky. Think about that. Now, let's go ahead and move on. So the next thing I've received tons of hate and discontent about that I want to address is gear. And it's 2 parts. First part is gear that I pushed for 7 years from a different company, and I no longer do. Second part of that is me pushing my own gear. So let's address the first part. For over 7 years, I have pushed Self-Reliance Outfitters gear. And I no longer do. And here's why. Again, I'm a Gen Xer. Let's use a basketball analogy. Back in my day, still seeing Magic Johnson play, Michael Jordan, okay? So if Magic Johnson was best buddies with Michael Jordan, off court, let's say they were, would Magic Johnson walk around town or go to a game wearing a Chicago Bulls shirt or jersey? Probably not, because it's not allowed. Even if it's not allowed, like they were allowed to, if it was allowed, it's bad publicity and bad for business and bad for their team, okay? You want to support whatever team you are working with or for, or in my case, a 1099 contractor. You want them to do well, so you do well, okay? At Self-Reliance Outfitters, they had a 10% commission for selling gear. So the more gear that's sold, you make 10% off of it. Now, that is not the reason why I sold gear. The affiliate program only is new, like say 3.5 years ago. We're talking 4.5 years before that, I showed gear. Why? Because I believed in it. And here's another truth, I still do. Most of it, yes, made in China, but we already knew that, okay? There's a site called Alibaba, you can go to it, and you can buy most gear that all of these companies have, that they put logos on. Not all. Self-Reliance Outfitters has come up with several things on their own. And again, I have not posted anything disrespectful towards their gear. Their gear is solid. I have the same water bottle I had for 7 years. Same bush pots, skillets, things like that. I no longer push their gear because I'm trying to do my own gear. Just like the basketball analogy. It's not illegal or wrong to do so, or overlap or interlap. But if they're not supporting my gear or pushing my gear, I can't support and push their gear because it's bad for my business, just like them pushing my gear would be bad for their business. Oh, look, Sean's making Flint steel strikers. Go buy his, don't buy ours. You get what I'm saying? That's just a courtesy that companies do. Ford doesn't push Chevy and Chevy don't push Ford. Doesn't mean that the guy who owns the company or works the president doesn't have some type of Ford in his, he probably does. You get what I'm saying? So because I don't show that gear anymore, doesn't mean I've trash talked it or thrown it away or I've just taken it all to the dump. Get rid of that crap. Well, I've never stated that. And if you watch all of my videos, you know damn well that the gear holds up, China or not. So if I make similar gear, you know mine's going to hold up, China or what. Doesn't matter, right? So that's where we're coming at with the gear aspect. Tons of people are reaming my butt and claiming I've said things I never even said. If you want solid gear, go buy their gear. If you've only bought their gear because of me and you feel let down, I apologize. Hopefully you'll see the longevity of their gear and you'll buy the gear for you. Okay? But if you solely bought it for me for a commission, I appreciate it. I always have appreciated it. I've never told anyone I didn't appreciate it. So thank you. I appreciate it. If you feel let down again, or you feel like you've been taken for a ride because you bought their gear and I left the company, I apologize. Now, the second part, my gear, okay? The advertising. I've received tons of hate about all he does is advertise gear. Well, you get a 20-plus minute package on Sunday. You're getting 2 extra videos during the week. And this is how YouTube actually works. People claim that I don't know, but I actually do know because I've gone to classes and I've taken quite a few seminars on it. Okay. When you make videos to be successful, here's a tip or trick for those just starting out. Even if you do a video series, 3 or 4 videos in a row, you have to show parts of the other videos. Why? For first-time watchers. Someone who's just scrolling through YouTube, they're like, oh, what's that? What's he talking about? So you advertise in there. I have a store also. You can get this gear here. A new person says, oh my God, now I can get what he has. That's the reason why I advertise for a whopping 20 to 30 seconds. Or I show gear that I make. If you're interested, you can choose to buy it. There's no gun to your head to make you buy it. I'm not showing them on your doorstep with a baseball bat, breaking kneecaps, saying, bruh, buy or die. You can choose to do that. Now, on the flip side of that, successful companies, I challenge anyone watching to please show me any company in America or worldwide that has gotten where they're at, or even halfway where they're at, without some type of advertising. You see it on commercials on TV, you see it at movie theaters, you see it at billboards. YouTube puts their own extra commercials in that I disagree with. I'll give you no more than 3, and I've said that. Used to only be 2. One at the beginning, one at the end. And someone says, there's 15 commercials. YouTube advertising. So they can push to make money. Okay? And all successful companies do it. Even, we talked about Self-Reliance Outfitters. They have several videos on their actual Self-Reliance Outfitters YouTube channel that is basically, here's our gear, buy it. Or, not in those words, but here's our gear, if you like it, here's our link. And those are entire videos dedicated to gear. And that's considered okay. I do it for 20 to 30 seconds in a video. And I get the 3rd degree. Okay? So, along with my apologies, if me doing 20 to 30 seconds in each video, 4 that's geared towards new watchers, which I gain in between 3,000 to 5,000 a month, new people who come to my page, and I advertise so they can see what else I do, or where I'm going to be at, where I'm going to be teaching at, or where I'm going to make an appearance at certain events. It's geared towards new advertisers. If you are offended by that, or I've just ruined your time on YouTube, or you don't want to sit through commercials, and all I do is infomercials, and you truly feel that way, from 20 to 30 seconds, I apologize. It's not my intent to make you disgruntled or make you pissed. I see what others do. If entire videos are dedicated towards gear, and I give you 20 or 30 seconds, I feel I'm doing a better job. I do that on purpose. I see what others are doing, and I try and do my own thing. Okay? So, again, if I've offended you with gear advertisements, if I've offended you with gear placement, or offended you by telling you that I make certain items on my Etsy page, or I'm selling you skillets that are hard to come by, that takes me a while to get and cost me a lot, I apologize. But I want you to get in my head a little bit and see where I'm coming from. And that's, again, advertisement on any level has to be done by you. Another tip and trick, those that are in companies. I've had successful welding companies, welding inspection companies, construction inspection companies, and now I'm a full-time YouTuber, and that's a company. Okay, it's an LLC. You have to spend money in advertising to make money. You have to gear it towards somebody, the first-time buyer, not towards people who already know. People who already know, no. The new people do not, and everyone has to be treated equally. So if it wears you out for 20 seconds of video, again, I'm sorry. I do the best that I can. I'm a one-man show. I'm running 7 days a week. And I have several different things in my hands. There are several different jars, and I'm doing the best that I can. And a testament to this is most people in my shoes can't do this or won't even try. They'll put out one video a week or every 2 weeks. They work a job 40 hours a week and they sit home. They don't want to do it. Okay? I do 110% on everything I do, regardless. I don't care if it's a revenue stream. I will do what I'm supposed to do until I know I can do it better or a different way, and then I'm going to go do that. Okay? So, gear, placement, advertisement. If I'm that offensive to you, I apologize. All right, lastly, before people get irritated that I'm talking, and that was a joke. This is who I am. It's called dry sense of humor. Okay? People getting mad that I talk about YouTube. Okay? They say, well, I didn't come here for that. Well, I know you didn't come here for that. But I'm quite sure at your job, you get pissed. Quite sure at your career, you get pissed. Quite sure even if you're self-employed, you get mad. Okay? Doing a job like this and doing it well, there's no one to talk to. And I feel that we have an on-off screen relationship. Not in the way of, like, we're going to go get a beer and hang out. But you come to see me, okay? And I expect you to watch. So it works both ways, right? I'm the kind of person that I'm transparent. I tell you step by step what I'm going to do. I even tell you in my videos. We're going to do this, this, and this. This, and this. And you watch the video, we do this, and this, and then this, and this. That's just who I am. When I get bombarded weekly, okay, weekly, and this is no joke, this is no BS, at least 100 a week, that I'm sitting there looking at emails and text messages. Some people found my phone number. I'm like, how do you get my number? I didn't see a video. Where's that? I got all the buttons on there. Notifications are all set. I'm not getting told. YouTube unsubscribed me. These are all the things I've been talking about. So if that has personally happened to you, you've been unsubscribed. You can't see the videos. You can't give it a thumbs up. You can't give it a thumbs down. You can't leave a comment. That is YouTube. Okay? So at that point, it's not just me complaining. You are seeing it happen to you. The exact things I have said are happening. Okay? One guy told me he thought I quit, hasn't seen a video in 6 months. My question is, why didn't you look? But for him, if it don't pop up, it's not there. Well, okay, so with that mindset, you will never be notified, but YouTube says you will. But if I say that, I'm complaining about YouTube, although it is reality. Okay? It frustrates me. It frustrates me to go through what I go through. Just like if you were on a job site, or you were working, and you put your all into it, and someone was like, that looks like bullshit. You're going to be like, the F, right? It's a slap in your face. I could slap in mine. I go through great lengths to create a good package for everyone. I do my best not to be too vulgar, although, like I said, I'm a Gen Xer. I can't help that. I try to make it to where even a person with the simplest mindset can see and understand what I do. Versus, do it like this, and you're up in the corner of the screen, it's all fuzzed and blurred out, you can't see what they're doing it here, and you're watching it here, and you're like, is that the left hand or right hand? They're twisting it, and you're like, but yet somehow it's got 1 million views on it. It frustrates me to have this many years, like 14 years in, doing what I do and doing it better. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm doing it better than most. To be pushed aside and treated like somebody who's just starting out that has no clue. And other people are just drinking a beer and it's 5 million views. Or the worst thing, copying a video frame by frame and it's got 25 million views on it. And I'm like, bro, I did that 2 months ago. exact same video, and you got 25 million views, and mine's shut down at 75K. And it is shut down because you have to actually search to find it. So it's called frustration. Just like the frustration that you guys get from not getting notified, from being unsubscribed, not being able to leave a comment, not being able to find out where that video was for that gear. It's called frustration. And the door swings both ways, apparently, because people hit me up weekly and they're frustrated. That enrages me even more because, believe it or not, I want to get a good product out there to people who want to watch and learn. Not people who want to watch and try to get me or try to burn me or just want to talk crap. There's legit people who want to learn. And I'm all about those people all day, every day. I have no problem trying to help somebody who legit wants to learn. And if YouTube's preventing that, it's going to burn me. It's going to frustrate me. It's going to make me angry, okay? Because I'm feeling not only my frustration from doing all that work, I'm feeling your frustration as well. So, along with our apology tour, okay? That was another joke. Relax. If I've offended you by talking about YouTube, if I've offended you and just made you turn it off, you just can't take it, you're just pissed at me and you want to just unsubscribe, I apologize. It's not aimed at you. It's frustration. It's irritation. I look at this like art and starving artists. You're doing everything you can to push it out there, to get it out there, and it's being prevented. And it bothers me. It burns me. Especially when people want it and they crave it and they need it and they're looking for it. It bothers me. Okay? It bothers me. It really does. It's the one thing in this world that just irritates me, because it's not at all because of on my end of just being lazy and not doing it. It's something else preventing it. Does that make sense? So get in my head and see how I see things. Then I'm at the same time I'm telling you how I know how you see it. Okay? So we both can understand each other, not necessarily agree, but we understand. Okay? That's where my frustration comes from. And that's happened now for several years. Okay? It's frustrating. So what I'm going to do, moving forward, I'm not going to say anything anymore because it just pisses too many people off. Once my channel is dwindled away to nothing, and it is capped at 25,000 views, it will be looked at as a personal failure on me. And that's what people are going to say. Because it's easy to blame me and point the finger at me because I'm an easy target. Moving forward, I'm not going to say a thing about YouTube. I'm just going to do my videos. And then when it's done, it's done. My mindset was to be easier for you to understand where I was coming from and what could happen for the future versus, where did he go? What happened? I thought he was doing this. Well, I thought I was doing this too. We'll end this off. Tomorrow we're going to do a midweek video. I got something in store. We talked about it briefly, about a fire kit. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Be a good midweek video. And then we'll roll into Sunday's overnighter. And I'm going to have my pack on, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep trucking. Okay? I'm just going to do what I do, and I'm going to do it better. My wife makes me want to be better. So I'm going to do what I can to be better. Now, lastly, all the smaller channels, smaller meaning smaller than mine. I don't mean small like you got 2 subscribers. Yeah, that's small, but you understand what I'm saying. Those that have a following. If you feel that I've offended you, if you feel that I've wronged you in any of those ways I've talked about, or any of the ways I haven't talked about, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about the past. I can only move forward. And that's what I fully intend to do. So, with that out of the way, let's end this bad boy off. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 2 areas. 1, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my description box. Now please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.